been doing this trilogy on the mountains, the different mountain ranges. And also this poem is called Sagarmatha because Sagarmatha is the Nepali name for Everest. Everest is an English name which was later given by when in colonial British India. Sagarmatha means forehead of the sky, so which is a more poetic name than Everest. And the poem is called Sagarmatha. The turquoise lake that longs to belong to the ocean, trapped to see the dazzling face of Everest. Climbers from the world over come to see their haggard faces in the clear light of our crystal eyes before facing the forehead of the sky. Glacial. I hope that someday I shall sprout like a tree on the edge of a remote hillside. I hope that someday a queen of the night shall bloom in my chest and suck all the smoke that I have inhaled in these malignant cities. I hope that someday a just born brook shall clean and wash the bacteria of greed in me. I hope that someday a Buddha meditating in the niche of a cairn by the heap of the city garbage shall shake his limbs and walk away to save me from the shame of being a glacier. I went to London and I saw this in the tube station. We call it tube, subway is tube. So I was there and I saw this escalators going up. They look like huge, like a big mountain to me. And in Nepal or Himalayas, whenever you go up mountain, you always meet a goddess. There's a shrine of the goddess. But in London, when I went out of the tube station, I saw an old woman standing there selling big issue, and somebody had punched her eye. She had black eye, and that was the goddess of the metropolis. So this poem called London, Temple London. Wind howled like the trumpet of a fierce Kali, rushed into the temple tube station to slap my face, to smother the flame of my breath and blind my vision as I soared floating up the steely slopes of the escalators in search of reaching a hillside shrine that our goddesses always prefer to live on. Once up out of the station in the freezing cold, as I exerted to push my overcoat up my shaking frame, I saw her there on the wet pavement, out alone in the open with a swollen black eye and an issue of the big issue held like a trophy, a sacrificial rooster against her sagging breasts. I was in Amsterdam and a poet invited me to his place and there was an open house and they gave me some food, tea, and food came and I took the food, and after a while I started shaking. After 20 minutes I said, well, something's wrong with me. What's wrong with me? And they laughed. They say, oh, you man from Kathmandu, don't you know that you have taken space cake? I said, what is space cake? They said, don't you know, this is hashish cake. And they thought, since I come from Kathmandu, they took it for granted that it's normal for me. I can take as much, hashish, which is not true. I never done this in my life. So it was quite a shock. So this poem called, it was near-death experience, and I really thought that I would die because I didn't know how much I had taken. So it was, and more they tried to ask me, more unnerved I became. So this poem called Space Cake Amsterdam. Don't panic, they said. Remain cool like your Krishna. Meditate maybe like Buddha, uttering Om Mani Padme, jewel in the lotus. Or lie down and relax like Vishnu on the python bed, to float on the ocean's currents, buoyant on the invisible thread of your breath in slow motion. Millions of cats prowled around me. Smoke from shared sex and hashish joints stung my eyes. An unsettling tongue of an awkward fire fed my stomach. I squinted queasily towards the formidable edge, unknown ominous frontiers of human life. They laughed a secret laugh behind my back. Isn't it crazy that this man from Kathmandu should get stoned from a piece of space cake in Amsterdam? Don't be serious, laugh. Celebrate the flame of life, a woman's voice said. Hold my hands. I can imagine you are alone on this trail. I've been there once, she whispered. Her tongue curled like a dry leaf in my ear and crackled. How much did you take? Just a piece? I took 80 grams once. It can be crazy if you don't know it's coming. Just don't worry too much. Don't lose your control over things. You can kiss me if you like. You can pat my back. You can tickle my belly or stroke my breasts for a while if it comforts you. Sometimes it can be heavenly, this licking the rim of forbidden frontiers of human life. Maybe read a poem of yours, someone said. My heart raced wild, and I heard some girls gossip in the next room. What if we get sick in Europe? Don't we get sick in Asia? Just take it easy. Another voice came. You won't go psychotic. Remember one thing, whatever happens, you can always make a comeback. Faces of my dear ones veered past my face. I felt the delicate thread of my life slipping through my fingers. Hey man, it's fine. Don't worry too much, my host shouted. Drink lots of water. Drink black tea or coffee, a guest suggested. Or take lots of orange juice. Or maybe sing your favorite song, a woman said. Or recite one of your Hindu mantras. Maybe stick your finger into your throat. Another voice came sheepishly. And throw up. You probably haven't digested everything yet. Questions came like wind slaps. Can you tell me what they call boredom in your mother tongue? Do you remember your email account and password? Discuss your children, if you have any. Shall I bring my little daughter before you? Maybe you would feel better seeing her brilliant eyes. I imagined a child's face and clung to it, like a penitent would hold on to a sacred cow's tail in his afterlife, and slept on it all through the river of blood. Hours passed by, and then I heard someone say, what if he had freaked out? What if death had stalked our house tonight? Hearing these words, I woke up, knowing I had come back, stepped on the familiar shores of life where death is feared, a distant, distrustful thing. My drowse burst like a glacier that cracks from the rumble of a seed of fire that explodes somewhere in Earth's deep sleep. Thank you. Thank you so much, and please come to Nepal and visit Nepal, and namaste.